Hello, everyone.
Hello, everyone.
We're back.
We are back for episode 4.
Yes.
And today, we are going to talk about the importance of finding the right team. The right team to work with your child.
So I tell you, guys, episode 4 is coming your way. So yes, we are back, and this episode 4, is about getting the right team for your child, meaning as in all the different therapists and how it works and how you schedule for that.
Yes. And once you guys have it, let me know how you did it, because I've been looking for 17 years and I haven't done it yet. Just kidding. Okay, well, no, I'm not.
No, she's not.
I'm not kidding.
No, she's not.
I'm not kidding. But we're working on it, and every day is a little closer.
Just a little.
To losing my mind.
That
Ship sailed a lot.
You lost that shit a long time ago. What the hell?
The ship.
Do you really think you're sane?
No, that ship sailed a long time ago.
I know I'm not sane.
But no, in all seriousness, yes, we both agree that, and I think most of the families that have been in this for such a long time would agree that finding the right team to work with your child is extremely, extremely important.
Yeah. There are phone calls.
Yes.
There's research.
Mm-hmm.
There are trials and errors.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of those.
Yes.
A lot of those.
Correct.
I've had people that have worked with Angel that it's like after second or third visit be like, no.
Yeah.
Okay, no, you
Right.
strike.
Right.
You're out. That's it.
And I think that like sometimes you have to give it a try for a while.
Yeah.
But then there's some that you know kind of right away, like what you just said, that it's not gonna work out. Finding that right team.
I'm not picky. Don't think.
No, I'm really not picky either. At the end of the day, I think what we really want is somebody who really cares for our child, and who everybody, I think we all want somebody who works towards the same goals and that can work together as a team.
Yes. I look into a therapist.
Mm-hmm.
What I look mostly into a therapist is how they connect with Angel and the love they have for their craft.
Yes, absolutely. Oh my God, yes, that's so important.
I can right away, after talking to them, seeing them a couple of times with Angel, I can right away say, esta persona will work out.
Right.
Or has potential.
Yes.
Because not necessarily.
Right.
Because there have been times, listen, I'm going to give you the biggest example that I have.
Right.
My Angel's ABA therapist, RBT. Mm-hmm. I'm going to put her out there. Mm-hmm. I'm not going to say her name because I don't want her to get embarrassed. She might get embarrassed. She's an amazing individual. We love her like she's part of our family. Okay? Right. She's been with Angel 6 years, I think. She started very, very young.
Is this his therapist or his analyst?
Well, now analyst.
Oh, okay.
She's an analyst now.
That's why I was like, okay,
yes.
Wait a minute. Okay.
She started as an RBT, as a therapist, one-on-one, and now she's an analyst, and she's still in the case. Mm-hmm. And this recently happened maybe at the end of last year. Okay? But Angel has grown with her just as well as she has grown with him.
Isn't that awesome?
And from day one, she had very little experience. She has some experience, but it's not so much about the experience that you may have. It's, again, the love for the craft and the love for kids.
Yes.
And being able to work with kids. Not everybody is into customer service.
Right.
Not everybody is into working with kids. Not everybody can teach. And we know that.
Right.
I know that.
I will tell you that, like, from, in all the years that we've been receiving different services and on and off since Justin was a baby, some of his best therapists have had very little experience. Yeah. Some of the people that really grew on us over the years, especially how around the time that we met, some of them were probably the best. I know that now we're at a point where, because Justin is older and he's 17 and there's a lot of behaviors and, we really need somebody now. We prefer male. We prefer, we have preferences when it comes to, now I don't need all the staff to be male, but really for behavioral services, for ABA, I really do prefer that we do have a male therapist. However,
he's bigger, he's older,
yes.
He's, stronger.
If you do have a child with autism or any diagnosis, whether you have a boy or a girl, when it comes to puberty time, that is also very, very important, the team that you choose.
Yes.
Because they are going to help you immensely, especially if you have a behavior plan in place. They're going to be able to help with a lot of the stuff that takes place during the puberty years. And, whether it be wherever it is that the child is cognitively and what it is that they understand, they can develop different plans that will help them understand what's going on and what's appropriate and what's not. And that's actually a great topic for another episode.
Yes, it is.
Where we can discuss, sexuality and definitely
and what's appropriate and when and where.
Exactly. But that's something that you also want to think about when you're choosing a team, the age, and that sort of thing.
Listen, I think there's no science to this.
No,
there's
there
no
really
science.
isn't.
It's just a little common sense,
right.
I guess. And also, with the ABA therapist, she's been with him this whole time, and they learned from each other. They did. With the ABA, she knows Angel like the back of her hand. It's been 6 years.
Amazing. Yeah.
Now she's his analyst, which is the supervisor. Now he has a new RBT, and she is the supervisor. Okay. For those who doesn't know the terminology, right?
We should have like an episode on like terminology,
right? Because we kind of use it loosely, and probably people that don't know and be like, "Huh?"
Yeah,
even ABA, they're like, "What is that?"
People are gonna need like a dictionary up in here to be able.
We will have it available at SpectrumMamis.com.
Yeah, actually, we should have like a tab with like terms that we use interchangeably, so people know what the heck we're talking about.
Look. Right here in the middle of an episode, we're having ideas. There you go.
There you go. Husband, get on this.
There you go. Homework.
Yeah.
All right. So, back to...
What a mess.
We're a hot mess, I swear. And I'm feeling like a really hot mess
No,
today.
but seriously, like when I did that first video of Justin in the emergency room.
Right.
I actually, as we know, we got so much feedback from that first video, and which I think we had discussed prompted a lot of this. And I got comments back from people asking me, you mentioned Baker acting. I know what it is, but in future videos, and I'm thinking, I'm going to have future videos? Like, I was like, okay. And I'm like, thank you for that idea. Somebody that I don't know said, I actually know what it is, but in future videos, can you actually explain Baker acting a little bit and how that works? And I'm like, okay. And then, so I always thought that we would do a video eventually on Baker acting, and we will, and what it means and entails. But yeah, we need to.
Yeah, the terms, come on. It's like if you were a scientist and you use, different terms, and scientists talk to each other and this and that or whatever, and people, English, please?
Exactly.
So,
yeah,
that kind of thing.
But,
so, like I said, then with the therapist, I trust her 100%. She knows him like the back of her hand. So, I think I've been very meticulous of who I have placed for what.
Right.
everyone that works with Angel right now,
Mm-hmm.
at this point, everyone that works with Angel have been working with Angel for a while,
Mm-hmm.
know him. I trust them. He trusts them.
That's such
Okay.
like a relief when you have
Because
people like that.
Right. Sometimes, even though you have the love for the craft and even
Mm-hmm.
though you're good, you might not click with that child. You might not have that, no say.
Yeah.
Like,
You know what else? Like, I don't know about you, but I mean, because I know that, you know, Angel receives therapy but Sergio's older. But, so it might not apply to you so much. But I think it's also important too, how the therapist treats the siblings. I've worked with families before. So for some that may not know, I also worked as an RBT for a little while. So as a behavior therapist. And I've worked with families. One family in particular who actually might watch this because I've become very good friends with after the fact. After I left the case, Mom and I became very good friends, and wonderful, wonderful family. And there was several kids in the family, and even though I was there to work with the child on the spectrum, I felt that it was very important to have a relationship with the siblings. Like, you know, a lot of parents notice that you're here to work with the child and you won't even look at the other child. Like, you won't, or you might even find the other child annoying, or, you
Not
know,
only
especially
that.
if they're younger siblings. You really have to be mindful of that as well.
Not
I
only
think that
that.
speaks volumes.
not only that, I think you could use the sibling
Yes, absolutely.
as part of the therapy.
Absolutely.
And a lot of the therapists that have come through here have done that at some point.
At some point, especially
Not
when they
now.
were younger, right? When they were younger, it would be more appropriate. But that's what I'm saying. Like, so this child that I worked with had 3 younger siblings. I wanted to incorporate them in sessions. I mean, I wouldn't do it every single time, but I wanted for that when I walked in the door, the siblings were equally happy to see me.
Right.
You know, and believe it or not, I think that myself as a parent, if I have somebody coming into my house and my younger child isn't thrilled, you know, like thrilled to see this
Right.
other person, I don't know. I think there's so much, I think, that goes into having that perfect team.
It is.
And-
it is.
and
And
that has to do
get
with it.
them. Another thing that is kind of challenging is getting them to agree to talk to each other about the case.
Yes.
Some of them are not very open. And I tell you, from my experience, if I see somebody that is not open to that,
Right.
that might be a deal breaker for me.
Right.
Only because you have to have a common goal.
Yes.
Yes, there are goals for different things, different areas, okay? But at the end of the day is a common goal. The behavior plays a big chunk
Yes.
of everything around.
Yes. And
okay?
all the hard work that, you know, when you're working with behavior, all the hard work that people are putting into it, the behavior therapists, the parents, the siblings, everybody's putting into, you know, with behavior. If then another person comes in and maybe reinforces a specific behavior, a specific maladaptive behavior, well, they're going to learn that very, very quickly. And, you know, so that's not good. Everybody needs to
they're gonna
really be
learn to
working to manipulate. Yeah. Everybody needs to be on the same page. And you know where I see it a lot, and you've probably seen it. I know that this isn't an issue now, I don't think, with Angel, but I've seen it not just with Justin, but I've seen it also with other kids when maybe it's not the team, like the speech therapist and the OT and, you know, the team that comes to the home or that you take them into therapy, but the school team. Many, many times the school team is either not on board with whatever we're doing at home, or they're either not on board or they're not in communication with each other. And I think that that's huge. I think that it should really be across the board. It should not only be with the team in the home. the team in the school should also be doing the same exact things.
Therapy, teachers.
Yes.
All of
Anybody
them.
involved with the child.
And even you could go as far as your doctors, because they need to be aware of the progress of whatever it's, the progress or the lack of whatever is going on. So they can know what to do next or how to guide you or whatever it is. But mainly therapy, schools, teachers, everybody has to be on one page. With the teachers, with the school, and trying to get communication from the therapist might be a little tricky. You could work around it.
You can work around it.
You can. Okay.
Yes.
And when they give you all the paperwork, the release or all that stuff, you know what I do? I'm going to tell you what I do. I say, okay, you give me that information. They're like, oh, okay, we'll give you the information. I'm a parent. I'm the parent. I'm allowed to have the information. And I'm the parent. And I'm allowed to share it with whomever
right.
I need to share it. So
there is a process. I know that with the school, for instance, the school will have you sign a paper.
Right.
Like a waiver or disclaimer that, more like a release for them to be able to communicate with the behavior therapist or for them to be able to communicate with the analyst or whoever else needs any pertinent information regarding the child. But that's fine.
That's
fine. I mean, yes, it's a document that you have to sign. It is not a big deal. But I do see it a lot coming from the school. A long time ago, I actually heard about a child that was having some issues in the school, not my child, but was having some issues in the school. But these behaviors weren't occurring anywhere else. It was mostly occurring in the school. So the analyst went in and did an observation. And she made a suggestion to the teacher.
Right.
The teacher flat out said, I don't have time for that. And the suggestion was something like, instead of constantly like telling him what he's doing wrong, can you kind of go around the room and be like, you're doing great today.
As simple as that.
You're doing great. And I understand there are so many amazing teachers. So not to badmouth teachers. There's so many amazing teachers. And so many go above and beyond.
But we also get...
Absolutely.
You are overwhelmed.
Overworked and underpaid. All of
that.
Yes.
All of that.
Yes.
Right? But we also want results.
Yes.
And we also want to be able to communicate to you, or vice versa, whatever's going on so we can fix it. Right? And it's not about, let me change that word because people might be like, autism doesn't need fixing and blah, 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 blah.
Okay.
You know how that
well,
goes.
right. Well, it's just going to make your situation better also in the classroom if you are a little open to, more open to, you're right. Fixing is not.
Your day is going to go better.
It's going to go better. Absolutely. Because everybody's going to be doing what they should be doing.
The child is going to have a better day. You're going to have a better day.
Yeah.
Everybody's going to have a better day. So, trust me, it's a good thing to communicate.
And, that was just one example. And I've seen it, play in different ways. But it was crazy because as soon as this teacher implemented something so tiny that it took nothing from her day, everything changed in the classroom. It was like a 360. And it was because she was accepting of this information. Maybe it wouldn't have worked. Maybe she wasn't going to do it. But if everybody works as a team, we can get the results that we're looking for.
There are little things that you try. You wouldn't imagine just even wording something a little bit different.
Yes.
That's it. That's it. You don't know how many times I've had a situation with Angel that all it takes is for me to just step back, come back at him and say it in a different way.
Right.
Just a different way. Same thing, different sentence. And he'll go ahead and do it. or go out, whatever it is. It's just so simple. And that's what we're looking for, to make it, to ease the burden of the day for everyone, right? So again, there's no science, there's nothing perfect, but you also have to look into how each person acts and reacts to your child. So I'm very thoughtful of that and very mindful. I like to observe. I like to, even though sometimes I act like I'm not looking, I am looking and I am listening.
Right.
So I like to see that they're willing and open to be able to make changes or even collaborate and say,
with
okay,
each other,
what I said this, what should I say, or how about if we both say it at the same way, so like that he can, because that's another thing, kids with autism generalize a lot of things, even if it's something a verbal direction or anything. To give an example, it would be just so, it's anything. It's anything.
Right.
As simple as a direction or as an instruction, as whatever it is. If you say it the same way all the time, he would only get used to hearing it the same way all the time. Right?
Right.
But at the same time, you have to get him to that point to be able to make changes to that. Right?
Right. True.
You see what I'm saying? Maybe they're not getting, but I don't know. I don't know if I'm explaining myself right. But
so, I mean, if you're the one providing the care, like you're the OT, the speech, the ABA, keep those things in mind, because us as parents, we can tell you it's important. And if you're the parent, organize this. You told me you have a chat on like WhatsApp. You put besides signing the releases and getting everybody to get all the records and information and all that stuff, you also have a chat. Be informed. Make sure that everybody's in the same page. I feel like not all parents are born advocates. I think that advocates are made. And even with that, and I can say for us, and I'm sure you agree with this, we were made this way because of what life threw at us. Unfortunately, I see many families, many parents that even though this is being thrown at them, they still don't have that drive, or they don't know that chispa. Yeah, that's the best way to say it.
You gotta have chispa.
Yeah. So if you're the parent and you hadn't thought about this before, which is totally understandable and it's fine.
Right.
Try doing that. Try reaching out to the team so that everybody's on the same page. Put out a WhatsApp message. Make sure that everybody has, your OT. This is my opinion, and you probably agree with me on this. Your OT should have a copy of your behavior plan, and vice versa. Everybody needs to be working together. If you have a personal care assistant in the home that's coming in to work with the child and spends, a crazy amount of hours, probably more hours than you do with your own child, that person should know what goals and what replacement behaviors are on your child's behavior plan. I mean, everybody needs to be working. And I wouldn't say, I'm not asking them to be RBTs. They're not.
No.
But they should be able to know what we're all working on.
And not only that they're willing to do it.
Yes.
And they're willing to not just, you have to tell me what to do at every second. No.
Right.
They're willing to learn. They're paying attention, because how you said, personal assistants, right? Personal care assistants, right? PCAs are the guardians of your child when you're not there.
Correct.
Right? So, again, the terminology.
Right.
We gotta add that one there.
Yes.
So, yes, they're there. You're working. You're not home. This person comes in and takes care of your child. Is the person that will drive them somewhere or stays there or feeds them even bathe them if he needs to.
Right.
All of that, right?
They typically do what the parent would do if the parent was there, or if the child was able to do it. Like if the child wasn't able to do it.
Right.
So like, let's say that, you know, you have a 15-year-old that is not able to wash his own laundry. Or I don't know what's appropriate for, because my daughter's little and my son is not there. But if you have a child that a typical child, neurotypical child, would be able to do their own laundry, but because of their disability, they're not able to do their own laundry, that's where that person would come in and do their laundry.
Right. So this person is taking care of your child, being you while you're not there. Then ABA comes in. ABA is behavioral therapy, right? And they're not allowed to stay alone with your child. Therefore, that's why that person is there, to be the guardian that's there taking care of your child, and then ABA can come to your home, right? So how you were saying, the personal care person should know about the goals and everything else.
Yes.
If they don't know about the goals, at least they can work well with that ABA that comes to the home.
Right.
Observing, asking questions, anything, to the point that whenever ABA is there, maybe 2, 3, 4 hours, who knows, right? Depending on your child. But this other person may be there for 8 hours. Just giving you an example.
Right.
And what happens to all those other 3, 4, 5 other hours that they're alone with your child? So if in the time that the ABA person is there and this other person is able to learn and be aware,
right,
and to know how to diffuse any behaviors, or learn how to diffuse any behaviors.
Okay.
So then,
yeah,
that's the thing. So again, we're rambling a little bit because we want to give you information, but these are things that sometimes we need a whole episode to explain. Another thing is scheduling services. Trying to give everyone the right time for them, but also the right time for your child.
Yes.
I know that in my case, regular day school, when school, right now we're in summer, but when school is there, Angel has school. Everyone giving him directions, teachers, this, that, blah, blah, blah. Comes home, needs a little break, a snack, something, and then ABA, OT, speech, music therapy.
Right.
So he has all of that. So his whole day is jam-packed.
Right. And
people giving him directions and talking to him all the time. After a certain time of the day, for the most part, I kind of hit 6 o'clock. 6 o'clock is like the latest.
Right.
That is like, yeah.
It's
okay.
There has to be. Yes.
He needs to have a little time before dinner and a little time after dinner.
Right.
To just hang out, watch
be a
TV,
kid, rest.
be a kid, whatever.
Yes.
Hang out with us.
Right.
So yeah, that can be a little tricky. Because everyone, of course, they have their schedules. They need to, fill them up and try to figure out which kid they have to see when and what time and everything else. We get that. But also,
I think especially when you have so many services, it's so hard to coordinate everything to make sure that he has that time available, in the afternoons for him to rest and be a kid. But also for everybody's schedule to not have conflicts with each other. I can say that one of the biggest problems that I encounter is that because finding services for a child like mine is already difficult as it is, and finding people with experience as my child requires is already difficult as is. I think that unfortunately we've gotten the short end of the stick many times, and we've conformed a lot to other people's schedules, and I can tell you that I have been very guilty of making it work for the other person and not making it work for my child. And Justin has been without many services for the last few months. And the reason why we are still without services, because we would probably already had services, is because I'm done with that. I'm not doing that anymore.
Right.
I'm done with the mediocrity.
Yeah.
We will find the right team. We're on the way. And I know that we will find the right team. And I'm not gonna, I'm just not gonna, I'm sorry if you can't do those hours. That's perfectly fine. We'll continue
else.
looking somebody that can do those hours. Oh, you can't do this? We'll find somebody that can do it. But I'm not gonna do that anymore. It's what he needs is what he needs, and that's what we're gonna do.
And when he needs it.
And when he needs it, and that's what we're gonna do.
Right.
And I know you were mentioning earlier about how you trust so much your analyst who used to be his therapist, and that is amazing. And I've also been in that position before as well, whether it been through with a therapist or with different services, and that is a godsend, and it's such a good feeling. But I know that we will get that back.
No, eventually,
we will get that back.
Of course.
But I'm just not gonna continue, not giving him what he needs.
Yeah, sometimes you can't settle.
You can't
settle because that's his time.
Mm-hmm.
That's your time. And that's their time too. Right. But again, to be the gatekeeper of all of that,
mm-hmm.
and to try to make everyone happy.
You are, right. Well, you have to. I believe 100% in making everybody happy. But it has to work for us, and it has to work for him. And if it doesn't work for the therapist, for somebody else, if it works for them, but it doesn't work for us, then it doesn't work.
No. It has to work for everyone.
It has to work for everyone. And so, yeah, it's
scheduling and being the gatekeeper to that is challenging. It's exhausting.
Mm-hmm.
I get texts all the time about, how about if we change it, or we have,
But you have the power
cancel.
to say if it gets changed or not, because you are la jefa, the gatekeeper.
La jefa.
Yeah. No, you are. No, seriously.
No, tampoco así.
No, you are the gatekeeper is the best. I think the best definition for that.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, and you have to have a little bit of control of that, because it can get chaotic.
Yeah.
So yeah, trying to get to where everyone is okay with whatever they're doing and their times and everything else is a little challenging.
Yeah.
But and also I wanted to talk about, how you were saying now that about that you're not gonna settle for whatever the other person may want or need.
Right.
It's just basically,
Yes.
gonna get everything together.
I'm gonna always work with a therapist. You know what I mean? And with the aid, and with I'm gonna always work with them. But I am the kind of person that I like that when these people come to my house, I want them to feel like family. I want them to
comfortable.
I want them to be comfortable. I want them to be happy. I will say that we pay. So Justin gets a certain amount of funds allocated for certain services, and we pay top dollar.
Yeah.
A lot more than other people pay.
Yeah.
We pay double. And I will do it 100%. I will continue doing it. Yeah. Even that doesn't work. I will continue to do it until, our dying day, right? But I will work with you, but you need to work with us.
Right. Right. With that said, we've also encountered people that kind of leave you hanging. Again, I think I've said it before, and I will say it again and again and again and again, and I will say it. I am not. Lisette, we are not gonna say any names because we will never put anyone out there.
No.
But we have encountered people that have left us hanging
Right.
with no services
Right.
at any given moment. And I don't think they
I just
I
don't
hope,
know.
I honestly, I hope they're not realizing
Right.
the predicament that they put us in.
Right.
Okay? I've had situations where a person hasn't shown up and Angel just went like, okay, because Angel's very into he's already older. He understands more. Before it was like, okay, fine, whatever.
Right.
I had someone not show up. And since Angel's very routine driven, and he even looks at his watch like, okay, so it's so and so time, or oh wait, I have 10 minutes to start with so and so online, or whatever it is, right? So he's very routine driven, and this person didn't show up, and he kept on asking about this person, and he was like, oh, but wait, but what? And that kind of like threw him off. Then it took him a little bit to kind of get his groove back. You know?
Sure. And at the same time, you want to teach him that things happen.
Yes.
And because you also don't want that he can't deal with those things, especially at the stage that he is in right now. You want to have that generalization, and and for him to be able to accept that this person is not here today.
He did, but it took him a little bit.
Right.
And I think it could have been avoided, and only because it was at the time of the day that it was.
I think that what made it worse was that you didn't have an answer either. Because if you would have had an answer, you would have been able to explain to him, oh, this is what's happening today. And then he would have had to deal with it. And that would have been the correct way to handle that. He would have learned the lesson.
Correct.
Because you are providing the information. But when in that situation, you were completely blind.
Even know.
You were blind. You didn't know.
No. I didn't know that this person was not going to show up. I didn't know. Nobody really knew that this person was not going to show up.
Right.
And it was one of those things that it kind of threw him off. And it could have been avoided, easily avoided.
Right.
But I feel like, and I hope people understand how stressful that can be on us.
On us and on the child. Yes. Because I almost to be honest, and I'm sorry to interrupt you, I almost hope that they don't realize it. Does that make sense? Because if they did realize it and they did it anyway, that would make me wanna okay, you know what? Maybe this is
not for you.
Not for you. You know what I mean? Maybe you're right and you shouldn't be here. You know what I mean? I don't know.
Right.
But if you are, someone providing these services, be mindful.
Yes.
Be mindful of that.
Oh my God.
It is huge.
Yes.
It is huge.
So that happened, and I know that that's happened to you.
Yes.
You've been left in
many levels. Yeah.
Yeah, you've been left hanging a few times.
A few times, yes.
A few times with no services from one day to the next.
Right.
And that's just not cool.
No. It's. I mean, even right now, we are without two very important services. And again, I probably could have already found somebody. But I looked at it now as we're moving forward and it's a clean slate. I think I had mentioned to you, I contacted many companies trying to get a new personal care attendant. And besides that, it is very difficult, like I've mentioned, to find somebody with experience, somebody that can address the needs of my specific child. I've also been asked as a parent to lie about my son's situation so that we can actually.
That's why I'm smiling, because I was just gonna kind of interrupt her.
Oh, tell them about this.
Can you tell them what they told you?
Right. I've been actually asked to lie, and so I was communicating with an agency to try to find a personal care assistant or attendant, and we use those interchangeably. And I was actually told by the owner of the agency or by one of the workers, listen, when so-and-so person calls you, because they send me several people my way for me to talk to them and see if I
interview them
and see if they, we could do a meet and greet or whatever. And just don't scare them off. Don't tell them that he is on the severe side of the autism spectrum. Don't
give him details.
Don't give him any details. Just tell him that he's a 17-year-old boy and that you need services and, And I'm like,
sorry, but
that didn't sit well with me. It just didn't. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that because this person's going to come in. And first of all, I'm lying to try to get somebody in the door. And this person's going to come in and maybe Justin is fabulous and gives this person no hard time. But then a few weeks later, after he's already attached to this person, Justin has a meltdown. The person freaks out and walks out and leaves us in a bind. So I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to, obviously, I'm not going to get on the phone with a person and be like, he's super duper aggressive. And I'm not going to do that because, right. And basically, she tried to sugarcoat it, or she tried to, when she saw my reaction, she sort of tried to, dale la vuelta mojón. And she's like, but, what I mean is, and I go, well, whatever happened with, the one that was going to come see me last week or whatever. She goes, you scared her off. That's why I'm telling you. And I said, okay, what does that mean? And she's like, oh, there are kids that are aggressive 24 hours a day. I don't think your son is aggressive 24 hours a day. That's what I mean. And I said, well, no, he's not. But he can be aggressive one day. And he does require somebody to still clean him. And somebody to, so, yeah.
Yeah, that I
remember how upset you were when I told you.
No, when she told me, I was like, what?
What do you mean I told you to lie?
Nah.
Yeah.
Nah.
And by the way, so this was one particular owner of an agency. But when I spoke to another owner of an agency, they didn't necessarily disagree when I mentioned it to them. They just kind of said, yeah, don't give them too much information. But this one was a little more, the first one was.
Pero es la misma mierda.
Yeah.
Hello?
Yeah. But yeah,
we're not here to lie or sugarcoat it.
No.
Autism, it is what it is.
Right.
And each child is different, and each child is special in their own way, and has their own challenges.
Right.
So no, we're not gonna sugarcoat it. I will not say, oh, no sé, he does.
Right.
Es que por qué?
No.
Why?
We shouldn't have to.
That should not.
We shouldn't
even be an option.
No.
This person that you're gonna interview. I mean, it's almost like if you go to a job interview.
Right.
And they tell you you're going to be for this so-and-so position and getting paid God knows what. And then when you go in, it's something totally different.
Do you remember that video? It used to be on social media. It's a joke. And it says, when you lie on your resume and say you speak 5 languages. Have you seen that one?
Yes.
And the lady's talking gibberish.
You've
seen that one? It's hilarious.
Hello.
So yeah, we're not gonna lie. No,
there's no need for that.
I'm not gonna do that.
It's challenging trying to get the right team for your child.
But it is possible.
Yes, it is.
It is possible. It is possible, and we're working on it, and I know we're gonna get there.
Yeah. And you will get there.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. And while we're on that subject, and I don't want to continue rambling, but when you do come across these problems, and this continues to be an issue, or you feel or you've had a conversation already with an individual that is on the case with your child, I am the kind of person, like I said before, I want people to be happy in my house and want to do the job and want to work with us. But I want them to want it. Like, I want them to feel good. If at any point it no longer feels that way, don't beg anybody for to work with your child, because that person is not going to be in the best disposition to continue servicing your child. I learned the hard way that if this is not what you want, listen, this happens in relationships. You know what I mean? It happens anywhere. Don't beg anybody for your time. No. The same way. Don't beg anybody to want to work with your child. Not everybody is meant to be in your life forever.
No.
You know, as hard as that may seem. And that...
Or sound.
Yeah. Sometimes things just don't work out and it's time to move on. And this has been a very hard lesson that I've learned. Not just with autism, in my personal life, in my very early 20s. And also now, with my son. If there's someone that doesn't want to be there and doesn't want to, doesn't feel good anymore, please let them go.
Exactly. It's just...
You're gonna be in a better place.
It's gonna be better for you, for them, for everybody. Mm-hmm. So, yeah. So we'll...
finding the right team is possible. And, I am not there, and I am telling you it's possible. So
it is. It is possible.
Yeah.
And it will be possible.
But it just takes work, unfortunately.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anything you want to add?
I don't know.
Mira, el problema es... Okay, this is the thing. Okay? Manuel is cooking some good ass shit in the kitchen. All right, let's be real. All right? And I'm a fat ass. And I just can't focus anymore. All right? Let's just say it how it is. Okay?
Oh my God. Angel. I gotta tell you, he amazes me every day. And the things that he says, he trips me out.
He was doing the reading, right?
He was doing the reading. A little reading class for a little bit with a teacher, his amazing teacher. And they were talking about a book that they were reading. And it had something to do with a crocodile, right? And they were all talking, and I hear him say, Steve Irwin, the crocodile hunter, right? And then the teacher said, oh yeah, I don't know. The conversation went on. And then he said, he passed away. He died 16 years ago. And I kind of like, that perked me up. And I was like, and I think the teacher says something as in, oh, really? 16 years ago? It almost,
it seems so like long, it wasn't even that long.
Whatever.
Yeah.
This and that. So they keep on talking and whatever
and you
about
looked it
him.
up.
And I went, oh hell.
I need to know when Steve Irwin actually passed away.
I gotta see this. So I went on my phone. I'm like behind the door. And I went on the phone. He died
16 years ago to the day or whatever day.
16 years ago.
That's incredible.
In 2006 when he was man.
That's amazing.
I'm like, how does he know or remember these things?
Remember that, yeah. Yeah, he must have seen it somewhere and it stuck. Like he saw.
Exactly. Yeah. At one point, one time, one therapist came to the house and he loves DVDs.
Oh, yes.
Blu-rays, right. He has to have them all. It doesn't matter that he could see them in Disney Plus or in Netflix or this and that. He has to have them.
Always loved that though.
Physical,
I like all the years I've known you, he's loved the actual physical. Like he doesn't care. I think that he doesn't even care so much if there's nothing in it. His thing, or now he does. Because I know when he was younger, it was just about the cover. Like he had to have the cover.
Yes. So he has a huge collection. Yes. Like people give him and, we buy him and everything else. Well, anyway. So he was stacking up his, a stack of DVDs.
He's going to end up rich when they all become obsolete.
Right.
And he's got a better idea than all of us.
Yeah.
He's going to end up selling them later and making a profit.
So he's there stacking them up. And I don't know what happened that I think she pushed it or algo, and he went and he stacked them up again the same way. And she noticed that he was like arranging them in a certain way. And she's like, Angel, did you arrange that by title? And then she looks and she's there, like her mind is going like, is this alphabetical
Trying to
order?
figure out.
Is this, what is it? You know what it was? Release dates.
Oh, wow. And he had memorized them. That's incredible.
He has stacked up, maybe, I want to say.
How long did it
12
take her
or
to
15
figure it out, or he told her?
He told her.
Oh, okay.
He kind of told her.
By the release
like,
date.
At that point, it was hard for him to explain it.
Yeah.
But then at the, he went like this and he's like, look, this. And then he showed
That's
her. And then she's
amazing.
like, wait a minute. And she started looking at each
all
and
of
every
them,
one.
right.
And she's like, oh my
They're
God.
in order of, oh my God.
They're in order. Because this was a few years back. This was not now.
Right.
But yeah, he does things like that. And he knows dates and things like that it's like.
Right.
I wish I had that brain.
Yeah, for sure.
So
It's amazing.
yeah.
I can't remember.
So anyways,
anything.
guys, yeah, I think we're pretty much done.
Yeah.
Here.
I think so.
Anything else you want to add?
No. I think we're good.
Did we ramble on too much?
We sure did. Today was, yeah.
Yeah, one of those, but it's okay.
As
Yeah.
long as if you could walk away with something.
We did our job.
Exactly.
We did our job. We're here to help, to inform, to inspire, to support.
Maybe
That's-
laugh a little.
Yeah, that too. SpectrumMamis.com. You can find resources. We're adding stuff as we get it.
Yes.
We will add whatever's in the community.
The petition that we have been talking about in the last few episodes and that we continue mentioning, it's mostly, as you know, for children and young adults and for either children or young adults that are going to be transitioning soon. That information is very, very important for everybody to take a look at and sign. That is available on our website, as well as other resources. We're adding stuff pretty much almost on a daily.
On a daily.
On a daily.
On a daily. So yeah, you can find us in social media also.
Mm-hmm.
You could like, follow, share, subscribe. Like us.
Yes.
Because we're likable.
Yes.
And we have all the resources there, and we will be adding more as we get them. You can find us on social. Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. But also, you can find us on Spotify.
Amazon Music, Audible, Apple Music, Google, and that's it.
That's it, I think. Yeah, that's pretty much
And
it.
that's if you don't want to see us and you just want to listen to us in the car. We
do
can't
that.
imagine why, but if you prefer to just listen, you can hit us up on any of those.
Yeah,
And as always, the best place is the website. But I think we mentioned that already.
I think so. But let's mention it again.
Okay. So SpectrumMamis.
.com.
MAMIS.
SpectrumMamis.com.
Bye, everybody.
Bye. She had enough of me.
That's it. Bye.
Did you have enough of me?
I did.
Okay, fine.
Bye.
Bye.